Many old Hollywood actors were not just popular for their acting or singing, but they were also popular for their extraordinary central size. They were so big that many actresses were just hanging around them only to fulfill their desires. So, we are going to bring 17 of the most famous old Hollywood celebrities who were famously or infamously popular for their well-built endowment. So, before we continue, do you remember any? If yes, name him below in the comments. First, Forrest Tucker. Forrest Tucker was not only notable for his towering 6 feet 4 inches stature, but also for an off-screen attribute that fueled countless Hollywood anecdotes. Tucker's breakout came in 1940. With his robust performance as a formidable rival to Gary Cooper in The Westerner. With roles that showcased his rugged bravado, he quickly established himself as a presence both on and off the screen. In films such as Errol Flynn's Never Say Goodbye, 1946, and Sands of Iwo Jima, 1948, his portrayal of brash, hard-edged characters resonated with audiences. Yet it was his reputed personal asset, often discreetly alluded to as extra special, that elevated his myth among industry insiders. Tucker himself earned the playful nickname The Chief for his notable main point, a trait that became fodder for backstage banter and tabloid headlines. One infamous locker room story, recounted by columnist James Bacon, helped cement his legendary status in Hollywood lore. While his on-screen work underscored his tough demeanor, the off-screen stories painted a picture of a man whose physical endowment was as impressive as his acting chops. Over the years, biographies and memoirs have preserved these tales as part of the tapestry of old Hollywood, ensuring that Tucker's image remains larger than life. Despite the scandals and humorous rumors that followed him, Tucker continued to be beloved by colleagues and fans alike until his death in 1986. 2. Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, with his magnetic charisma and unparalleled vocal prowess, remains an icon whose allure extended well beyond his celebrated performances. Often dubbed Old Blue Eyes, Sinatra enchanted audiences not only through his stirring interpretations of timeless tunes, but also via whispers about his notably impressive endowment. Throughout his career, tales of his sizable private asset circulated widely among Hollywood insiders. Sinatra's romantic escapades with luminaries such as Ava Gardner, Marilyn Monroe, and Mia Farrow fed the rumor mill, while those close to him claimed that even his valet once mentioned the need for specially tailored undergarments designed to discreetly contain his remarkable main point. Gianni Russo, among others, recalled Sinatra's unabashed persona and womanizing reputation, noting that a significant portion of his seemingly slender frame was, in fact, devoted to his natural gifts. Esteemed figures in film and music, as well as candid recollections in various biographies, have contributed to the legend, reinforcing the image of Sinatra as a man whose sensuality was matched only by his artistic talents. Ever vivacious, Sinatra's public remarks about life and desire were delivered with an unapologetic gusto that further enhanced his mythos. Today, while his musical legacy endures and his films continue to be celebrated, the enduring lore of Sinatra's impressive endowment remains a fascinating, if playful, footnote in the annals of Hollywood glamour. Milton Berle. Milton Berle, celebrated as a pioneering vaudevillian and television trailblazer, secured his place in entertainment history with wit and infectious charm. Yet, beyond his comedic genius and groundbreaking role as Mr. Television, Berle became equally famous for a discreet personal attribute that captured Hollywood's imagination. Whispers in backstage corridors and candid recollections by industry peers revealed that Berle possessed an unusually impressive endowment, a trait that became the subject of countless anecdotes. Notable figures like Marilyn Monroe and Truman Capote reportedly spoke about it with a blend of humor and admiration. with Monroe once jesting about its legendary proportions during the filming of Ladies of the Chorus. Initially, Berle maintained a respectful silence, letting the lore develop organically among his colleagues and in trade journals. However, as his star rose during the golden age of television, the buzz grew louder, becoming a part of his public persona. Later in life, during interviews and public appearances, Berle would occasionally address the subject with a self-deprecating chuckle and a twinkle in his eye. His candid humor about this secret only added to his reputation as a man who embraced every aspect of his identity. Today, Berle's contributions to comedy and television are widely celebrated, and the enduring tales of his impressive private asset continue to be a charming, if quirky, reminder of an era when show business thrived on larger-than-life personalities and playful myth-making. Fourth, Bert Ward. Bert Ward, best known for his endearing portrayal of Robin on the iconic Batman television series, inadvertently became a part of Hollywood lore for a reason entirely separate from his heroic sidekick role. While his chemistry with Adam West's Batman was undeniable, it was Ward's off-screen challenge that became the subject of playful industry gossip. Throughout the series' run from 1966 to 1968, Ward's natural, robust physical attributes often proved to be an on-screen distraction. Observant viewers and crew members noted that beneath his costume, an unusually prominent member sometimes caused unexpected bulges, prompting ABC to consider remedial measures. Reports suggest that even medical experts were consulted, with doctors prescribing medications to help temper this natural advantage, a decision that Ward resisted, fearing potential impacts on his future fertility. In contrast, his co-star Adam West contended with entirely different wardrobe dilemmas, leading to a series of behind-the-scenes anecdotes that underscored the humorous dichotomy between the two stars. Ward's handling of this delicate subject, with good humor and a touch of irreverence, became a part of his lasting legacy. Industry insiders and television historians have since recalled these moments as emblematic of an era when such physical quirks could become legendary in their own right. Although Ward's public image was defined by his youthful energy and dedication to his role as Robin, the light-hearted narratives about his notable private attribute added a curious and endearing layer to his story, one that continues to be remembered fondly in Hollywood's playful archives. Fünfter, Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn, a name synonymous with swashbuckling heroics and undeniable charm, remains one of Hollywood's most alluring legends. Renowned for his dashing on-screen performances and flamboyant lifestyle, Flynn's reputation was further amplified by scandalous rumors regarding an extraordinarily impressive private attribute. His off-screen exploits, filled with daring escapades and flirtatious encounters, became fodder for both gossip columns and later biographical accounts. Tales of Flynn's robust endowment frequently surfaced, with one of the most infamous anecdotes describing a party stunt where he allegedly used his remarkable asset in an unusual display, even humorously playing an instrument. While his romantic liaisons with a host of stars enriched his public persona, darker chapters in his life, particularly allegations involving underage girls, also emerged, casting long shadows over his celebrated image. Although he was ultimately acquitted of charges that tarnished his reputation, these episodes contributed to a multifaceted legacy where both glamour and scandal intertwined. Renowned writers and film historians have revisited these stories in various books and documentaries, sometimes with a mix of incredulity and reluctant admiration. Despite the controversies and the unfortunate connotations later associated with phrases like "in like Flynn," the dashing actor's larger-than-life presence both on and off the screen remains a testament to an era of unabashed excess in Hollywood, a legacy as compelling as it is contentious. 6. Charlie Chaplin. Silent film icon Charlie Chaplin, revered worldwide for his artistry as the Little Tramp, also became the subject of extraordinary rumors concerning his personal endowment. Whispers in backstage corridors and later recollections by industry insiders claimed that his central attribute was so prodigious it was dubbed the eighth wonder of the world. Although Chaplin's on-screen persona was defined by gentle humor, the off-screen legend about his sizable member grew over time, appearing in various biographies and memoirs. Esteemed writers and film historians, such as those contributing to classic Hollywood anthologies, recounted that even in an era of modest stage presence, Chaplin's physical main point became part of his mystique. Fellow silent film stars and later contemporaries allegedly joked about it during private gatherings, and several published accounts, even in tongue-in-cheek memoirs by notable actors, mentioned this rumor as part of the icon's larger-than-life legend. Despite the passing decades and his death at age 88 in 1977, the myth remains a quirky footnote in film history. Chaplin himself, ever the performer, never publicly confirmed the details, leaving the lore to be woven into the fabric of Hollywood folklore. Today, film retrospectives and documentaries that explore the hidden sides of silent cinema sometimes note these stories as a reminder of the excesses and eccentricities of early movie culture, a testament to how the legend of a great artist can extend beyond his on-screen work into even the most personal aspects of his life. Seventh, Fatty Arbuckle. Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle, a luminary of silent comedy, became infamous not only for his jovial screen presence, but also for sensational rumors concerning his physical endowment. Amid the scandal that would forever mark his life, whispers circulated that his impressive member was of such size it had been blamed, however speculatively, for the tragic demise of silent film star Virginia Rappe. According to lurid accounts passed down in hushed tones over decades, some insiders claimed that during a notorious Hollywood party in 1921, the starlet's delicate constitution was overwhelmed by Arbuckle's enormous center point. Although Arbuckle's trial for rape and manslaughter ended in exoneration in 1922, the scandal continued to haunt him, and the salacious rumors about his physical attributes persisted. Biographies and periodicals of the time, as well as later works by film historians, have alluded to these whispers, allegations that, in some accounts, insinuated that his celebrated member might have been responsible for unintended injuries. Arbuckle's tragic death in 1933, at the age of 46, added an air of finality to the legend, transforming him into an enduring figure of both cinematic humor and scandal. Even as later generations of film buffs debate the veracity of such tales, the myth of Arbuckle's prodigious physical endowment has become an inextricable, if controversial, element of his legacy, an odd, cautionary note in the annals of early Hollywood lore. Eighth, Rudolph Valentino. Rudolph Valentino, the archetypal silent film heartthrob, captivated audiences with his smoldering looks and magnetic screen presence. Beyond his celebrated romantic roles, Valentino's robust on-screen persona gave rise to persistent tales of an equally impressive personal attribute. Revered as a sex symbol, his aura of passion and vitality was said to extend to his physical endowment, a feature often mentioned in hushed conversations among Hollywood insiders. Biographers and film critics have noted that Valentino's allure was enhanced by whispers of a particularly striking member, an attribute that seemed to underscore his irresistible charm and masculinity. This rumor, carried through trade papers and later in memoirs by co-stars and admirers, helped solidify his mythic status among silent film legends. His admirers, famed leading ladies, and even contemporaries in off-camera interviews, occasionally remarked, with a mix of awe and humor, that a significant portion of his appeal lay in this aspect of his manhood. While Valentino's career was tragically cut short by his untimely death at age 31, the tales of his impressive physical attribute have continued to intrigue historians and fans alike. Over the decades, various books on silent film and Hollywood gossip have revisited this rumor, embedding it as part of the broader narrative of Valentino's enduring sex appeal, a symbol of the larger-than-life persona that made him one of cinema's earliest icons of desire. Neolati Clark Gable, often hailed as the King of Hollywood, Clark Gable's rugged charm and dashing presence defined the golden age of cinema. Alongside his celebrated film roles, enduring rumors have swirled about his remarkably impressive member, contributing to his larger-than-life reputation. Gable's charismatic performances in classics such as Gone with the Wind not only showcased his acting prowess, but also bolstered an off-screen mythos where his physical main point became the subject of much whispered admiration. Colleagues and gossip columnists from his era, as well as later Hollywood chroniclers, recounted anecdotes where fellow stars and even adoring fans hinted at his exceptional endowment. These stories, often recounted with a twinkle of humor, found their way into biographies and interviews by renowned film critics. The whispers became a subtle part of his legendary image, a testament to the magnetism that extended beyond his on-screen persona. While Gable himself maintained a dignified silence on the matter, the lore was perpetuated by the vibrant culture of Hollywood's tabloid journalism and the playful banter among peers. Today, while modern perspectives may treat such rumors with skepticism, the tales of Gable's prodigious physical attributes continue to be referenced in nostalgic retrospectives on old Hollywood, a quirky and enduring part of his myth that only enhances the timeless allure of a man who defined an era. Desati Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson's status as one of Hollywood's most iconic leading men was built on a blend of charm, robust physique, and an enduring reputation for his notably impressive member. Revered throughout the 1960s and 1970s, Hudson became synonymous with the ideal of masculine allure, a quality that extended beyond his rugged on-screen persona to include whispers about his substantial physical center point. Stories of his virile endowment circulated widely in industry circles, becoming part of the legend that made him the poster boy for beefcake cinema. Esteemed magazines and film biographies from his era recount how fellow actors and even renowned actresses commented on his remarkable attributes, with some noting that his private gifts contributed to his undeniable sex appeal. In interviews and memoirs, insiders such as co-stars and directors often alluded to his impressive asset in affectionate if discreet terms. Books on Hollywood history and documentaries examining the golden age of cinema have preserved these anecdotes, casting them as emblematic of an era when a leading man's appeal was measured in part by his physical prowess. Though Rock Hudson maintained a dignified public persona and rarely addressed these rumors directly, the enduring lore only bolstered his legend. Even decades after his passing, his legacy as a consummate sex symbol and a paragon of masculine charm continues to captivate fans and historians alike, a testament to how his talents and the whispers of his physical endowment together created an unforgettable mythos in Tinseltown. 11. Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds, famed for his rugged good looks and unmistakable charm, became a symbol of masculine allure during the 1970s and 1980s. Alongside his blockbuster roles and charismatic performances, Reynolds earned a reputation bolstered by stories of an impressively endowed manhood. Industry insiders and gossip columnists frequently noted that Reynolds's physical attributes were as commanding as his on-screen presence, a fact that added an extra layer of magnetism to his persona. Colleagues in Hollywood, as well as memoirs by co-stars and journalists, have recalled anecdotes that emphasized how his private endowment was the subject of both admiration and humorous commentary. His contemporaries, including well-known actresses who shared light-hearted off-camera stories, often alluded to the idea that Reynolds's impressive member was a key part of his allure, a facet that helped define his image as the ultimate leading man. Various biographies and retrospectives on Hollywood's golden era have mentioned this aspect of his legend, solidifying its place in pop culture lore. Despite the passage of time, Reynolds himself rarely commented explicitly on the matter in interviews, preferring to let his work and his natural charm speak for themselves. Today, the legacy of Burt Reynolds endures not only through his films and his charismatic persona, but also through the enduring whispers of his celebrated physical attributes, a quirky yet unforgettable component of his larger-than-life myth. 12. Billy Bob Thornton. Billy Bob Thornton's offbeat, rugged persona made him one of Hollywood's most intriguing and unconventional leading men in the 1980s. Known for his distinctive roles and a persona that blended intense ruggedness with sharp wit, Thornton also became the subject of enduring industry whispers regarding his remarkably impressive member. Peers and insiders, among them anecdotes shared by celebrated figures like John Ritter, often remarked in affectionate, tongue-in-cheek terms that Thornton was hung like a rope, a description that quickly became part of his off-screen legend. Stories circulated among set crews and in backstage conversations that his physical main point was not only impressive in size, but also contributed to his reputation as a bona fide sex symbol. Biographies and entertainment columns have preserved these tales, with some books on Hollywood lore citing Thornton's attributes as a notable aspect of his charm. Although Thornton's roles often emphasized his unconventional style and anti-hero demeanor, it was precisely this combination of talent and legendary physique that solidified his status among the rugged icons of his era. Despite the humorous nature of many accounts, Thornton himself maintained a reserved stance in interviews, allowing the mythos to grow organically through industry lore and word of mouth. Today, while his on-screen work continues to be celebrated for its raw authenticity, the legacy of Billy Bob Thornton is also marked by these whispered tales, a testament to how a unique physical trait can become an enduring and memorable part of a star's larger-than-life image in Hollywood. 13. John Dillinger. John Dillinger, though not a movie star, transcended the world of crime to become a fixture in American folklore, his name forever entwined with daring heists and notorious bank robberies. Amid the grim realities of his criminal career, a peculiar myth arose, one that claimed his private asset was so impressive that it became the subject of urban legend. Tales circulated that his member was once even displayed in a Smithsonian museum, a claim that the institution firmly denied. Some say that misleading details in death photos contributed to the legend, while others suggest that the FBI itself may have embellished the story posthumously to further humiliate their infamous adversary. Over the years, countless books and documentaries on 1930s gangland lore have revisited this bizarre rumor, blending fact with imaginative speculation. Dillinger's notoriety as public enemy number one was already well established through his audacious robberies and daring escapes, and the added myth of his impressive physical endowment only served to heighten his mystique. While mainstream accounts focus on his criminal exploits, the whispered stories about his celebrated member continue to be shared among true crime enthusiasts and historians alike, illustrating how legends can grow in the fertile ground of American folklore. Even today, Dillinger's name evokes a blend of fear, fascination, and incredulity, a reminder that sometimes the most enduring parts of a legacy lie as much in myth as they do in documented history. The legend of John Dillinger took an even more theatrical turn when tales emerged about the FBI's efforts to immortalize his notorious private asset. As public enemy number one in the turbulent 1930s, Dillinger's daring criminal escapades were already the stuff of legend. However, alongside accounts of his infamous bank robberies, an equally peculiar narrative evolved, one suggesting that federal agents, in a bid to humiliate the notorious outlaw, fabricated or exaggerated stories about his impressive physical endowment. According to this lore, elements of Dillinger's private trait were supposedly documented and even enshrined as part of an elaborate posthumous display, a move intended to undermine his larger-than-life reputation. Although no concrete evidence supports claims of official plots or museum exhibits dedicated to his celebrated member, the very idea has captivated the imaginations of crime buffs and historians. Numerous books on American gangster history and FBI operations have alluded to these rumors, presenting them as a curious intersection of law enforcement theatrics and criminal myth-making. In this version of the narrative, the FBI's penchant for dramatic irony became a means to further debase an already vilified figure, blending elements of fact with inventive fiction. While the real impact of Dillinger's actions remains in his audacious crimes and the resulting media frenzy, the whispered tales of governmental theatrics add an intriguing subtext to his legacy, a unique, if controversial, footnote in the storied annals of American crime lore. 14. Jon Holmes. Jon Holmes became one of the most infamous figures in adult entertainment, his status cemented not only by the sheer volume of his work, but also by the legendary size of his private member. a fact that would be discussed, measured, and mythologized for decades. Active during the 1970s and 1980s, Holmes's career in the adult film industry was defined by a record number of credits and an asset that industry insiders and fans alike would reference as a benchmark of performance. Numerous books, articles, and documentaries on adult cinema have detailed Holmes's impressive proportions, with contemporaries often recounting anecdotes that described his main point in superlative terms. Fellow performers and directors in the field spoke of his remarkable presence, with a mixture of awe and humor, and his reputed size became a sort of currency in promotional materials. Even after his tragic death in 1988, the lore surrounding his physical endowment persisted, featured in retrospectives, museum-like exhibitions of adult film history, and even as inspiration for merchandise at film premieres. While precise measurements were never officially documented, claims ranged in an almost mythic fashion, and his asset was said to have been insured for a remarkable sum by Lloyd's of London. In the world of adult film, Holmes's legacy remains a vivid reminder of an era when larger-than-life attributes, both on and off camera, helped define a cultural icon whose influence continues to spark debate, humor, and fascination among historians and fans alike. Below are 3 profiles written in a similar style, using euphemistic language to allude to their famously impressive private attributes without explicit terms. 15. Jon Hamm. Jon Hamm and Jon Holmes. Not just their names look similar, their size is also similar. He is best known for his role as Don Draper on Mad Men, exudes an aura of refined masculinity and old-school charm that has captivated audiences for years. Beyond his impeccable on-screen style and suave demeanor, industry insiders have long whispered about a remarkable personal endowment that complements his commanding presence. Hamm's reputation for possessing a notably substantial asset has been part of the backstage lore, with anecdotes circulating among colleagues and close friends. In hushed conversations during industry gatherings and in candid interviews, his peers have alluded to the fact that his natural gifts are as impressive as his dramatic range. Biographers and entertainment magazines have even playfully noted that a significant portion of his chiseled physique is devoted to his natural advantages, a detail that many consider emblematic of the classic leading man. While Hamm himself has remained discreet on the subject, the legacy of his physical prowess lives on in humorous reminiscences and reflective memoirs about the golden age of Hollywood masculinity. His enduring appeal is thus bolstered not only by his sophisticated acting skills and timeless style, but also by the legendary whispers of his extraordinary main point. For those who appreciate the subtle art of celebrity myth-making, Jon Hamm remains a figure whose charm and secret attributes are as integral to his mystique as his finely tailored suits and captivating gaze. 16. Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson's career spans decades of powerful performances, earning him a reputation as one of the most commanding figures in cinema. Revered for his gravitas in roles ranging from action thrillers to deeply dramatic portraits, Neeson's on-screen intensity is matched only by the whispered lore about his impressive private asset. Colleagues and film critics have, over the years, hinted at a remarkably robust endowment, a facet of his masculinity that, though never confirmed publicly, has become part of the myth surrounding his larger-than-life persona. In intimate interviews and retrospective profiles, a subtle nod is often given to the fact that Neeson's natural gifts have contributed to the aura of invincibility and allure he projects. His statuesque build and resonant voice complement the lore, suggesting that the same commanding presence that anchors his performances is equally evident in his physical attributes. Film biographies and industry anecdotes, penned with a mix of reverence and playful humor, recount how this impressive main point became an unspoken emblem of his rugged charm. Neeson's legacy, therefore, is defined not only by his transformative roles, but also by the enduring, albeit discreet, reputation for having an extraordinary endowment, a part of his persona that remains as enigmatic and admired as the man himself. Siebzehnter Michael Fassbender. Michael Fassbender has carved a niche for himself in modern cinema, with performances that are as intense as they are nuanced, blending raw emotion with refined elegance. Alongside his celebrated roles, Fassbender has quietly become the subject of industry whispers regarding a notably impressive personal endowment. Colleagues on set and insiders in the film world have often alluded to the fact that Fassbender's natural attributes contribute to his magnetic appeal, a trait that complements his chameleon-like ability to transform into a wide range of characters. Whether portraying a brooding anti-hero or a sophisticated gentleman, Fassbender's presence is marked by a rugged sensuality that some suggest is enhanced by a substantial, well-endowed center point. In the halls of film history, this quietly acknowledged facet has been referenced in memoirs and casual interviews, where fellow actors and directors hint that his physical gifts are as striking as his dynamic performances. Fassbender's blend of European allure and contemporary charisma has made him a favorite among fans and critics alike. Even as he remains discreet about his personal life, the playful lore around his impressive asset has added another layer to his mystique, a modern echo of the classic Hollywood legends, ensuring that his legacy endures both on screen and in the subtle, enduring whispers of Tinseltown.